All right, guys, this is Garrett J. White and
Brett Harward.
And we're hanging out down at the Gateway, and right behind us is the Apple Store. Check it out. What's up? We're just getting some new toys here. We're hanging out down the Gateway. Actually, right around us is the Salt Lake City Marathon finish that's happening here tomorrow morning. Half marathon. Brett is actually just verbally committed to me to run the marathon tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's right. I'm starting training this tonight.
Training tonight, running in the morning. That's what we call commitment. All right, so we're going to talk to you a little bit about the stretch real quick. All right, so for the Wildfire Group and for the Tsunami Group, this is the same activity for you, but we want to give you a little bit more insight. Brett, why don't you add 2 cents since the video they're going to be seeing with you and the guy from Vegas, which is a real video you did, and you added some cool music to it. But talk to us about this. What's the intention of this activity, this stretch this weekend?
Well, the main thing is to learn a little bit about depth. We're going to talk about depth next week. We're going to start focusing on depth and getting into connecting with people, depth and connection. And one of the things I learned is, as I did this, I walked away from the stretch that you watched the video on and thinking, man, I know this guy better than I know most of my partners, or better than I know a lot of my friends. I know what classes he took. I know all this information about the person that I sat down and talked to, and I left with the resolve that I'm going to engage in relationships and I'm going to ask more questions and connect at a deeper level. And the stretch changed my life, so that's what I learned from it.
Got it. This same activity, it's so funny, I was sitting there in this stretch, it was a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, this kind of stretch would have freaked me out. So if you're freaking out, congratulations, you should be freaking out a bit. But in the space nowadays, I have to really stretch to get to a place, because once you start doing stuff like this more and more and more, it becomes a natural deal, because you stop seeing yourself as separate from everyone else, and you start realizing that everyone around you, they're way more like you than they are different. And in that space, it allows you to go deep really fast with people really clear. Now, the transfer value, Brett, talk to us about what the transfer value is to this in business. Like, why is it that being able to take depth and not seeing yourself as separate from other people, how does this empower your business?
Well, it's like the one thing, if you know your customers, when I talk to most business owners, they've never, ever had even a 15-minute conversation with one of their customers about what's going on in their customer's life, what they're stressed about, why the customer even picked them as a company. Most of the time, they just kind of take it for granted. They just make assumptions about what the other people like, what they don't like. I'm a big believer, the better you know your customers, the better you know your vendors, the better you know your employees and coworkers, the more you know about them, the more likely it is you'll find ways to create maximum value with them. And when you're making assumptions and guessing at what they want and why they want it, then A, you'll be off most of the time, and B, your creativity will be completely contained. You will not be as creative as you are when you know the kind of information you'll know about the person you do this stretch with.
Got it. So the last idea I'll kind of tag in on this one is the fact too that, remember, in your business, in the beginning, people are buying people. This is what they're buying. After they buy you as a person, they buy your products, they buy your platform, your business, and any other services you're offering. But in the initial stages, we're always wanting to do business with people that we like, and we want to be aligned with people that we like. So in going deep, it allows us to more readily sell the business of you and offer up shares and stocks in your business, which is you, and then more frequently, the conversion ratios with your products and your services goes through the roof. So enjoy your stretch this weekend. Have a great time connecting with somebody that you don't know. And you know what? Go a little bit further than you normally would, right? Go to the person who you would least likely talk to. One example from one of our Tsunami groups in the past. We had a gal who was blonde, 100 pounds, super tiny, 5'1" little princess. And the stretch she went after was a 6'5", 320-pound cornrowed black man who was a security guard at Walmart in Oklahoma. So that stretch, you can imagine, we're not even talking about the same world. They weren't raised in the same place, the same belief systems, nothing. And she was brought to tears when she shared about that activity and that exercise. So this is Garrett J. White signing out, and
Brett Harward.
Fantastic, guys. Have a great stretch weekend.